The Tales of Beedle the Bard is a fictional children's storybook that was first mentioned in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and later written as a real book by J.K. Rowling. Two differently illustrated editions were released in the US and the UK in October 2018. This video reviews both, as well as some earlier editions that I also have in my collection. First, let's start with the US edition, which is illustrated by Lisbeth Zwerger. Lisbeth is an Austrian illustrator whose works are primarily produced using watercolor techniques. She's also well known for her illustrated editions of fairy tales and children's classics Alice in Wonderland and The Wizard of Oz. I find Lisbeth's illustrations for Beedle the Bard subtle and tender, expressive and dreamy. The UK edition is illustrated by British illustrator Chris Riddell. Chris is a very prolific illustrator, most well known for his work on the Edge Chronicles and his Odeline and Goth Girl series, as well as several stunning illustrated editions of Neil Gaiman's work. Chris's illustrations for Beedle the Bard feature many of his delightful, distinctive and beautifully detailed line illustrations. I find Chris is incredibly talented at bringing characters to life with his imaginative illustrations, and the fantastic details will keep you gazing at the book for hours. The UK edition also features a spectacular double fold-out illustration. The UK edition is more profusely illustrated than the US edition, particularly when you compare the sections that accompany Dumbledore's notes on each of the tales. Here's a quick comparison of both illustrators' different interpretations of the Ashwinder, a serpent that is created from the remains of a magical fire that is allowed to remain unchecked, who appears in the tale The Fountain of Fair Fortune. Both of the editions are gorgeous, both are case-bound with no dust jacket, and both appear quite robust with Smith's own bindings. I've included links to both different editions below, as most countries will only be selling one or the other and you'll have to import if you want one of the different editions. I also decided to take this opportunity to do a quick review of some of the earlier editions of Beedle the Bard in case anyone's interested. The original copies of the book were handwritten and illustrated by J.K. Rowling for her friends in 2007. The one was auctioned off for charity and bought by Amazon. Amazon then released what is somewhat hilariously advertised as a limited collector's edition in 2008. Don't get me wrong, this edition is stunning, but they made about 100,000 copies, which is far larger than most print runs, so calling it a limited edition is rather a stretch. Nevertheless, it sold out within about a year, and although it is too difficult to find secondhand, it still usually goes for between $200 to $300. The book is tucked inside a box that's been designed to look like a Hogwarts library textbook. The Tales of Beedle the Bard comes complete with a metal skull, corners and clasp, replica gemstones and an emerald ribbon bookmark. The collector's edition also includes a set of 10 prints of J.K. Rowling's illustrations for this edition. J.K. Rowling's illustrations appeared in the editions printed after this for about 10 years. Until a new edition was released in 2017 featuring dust jacket art by Johnny Duddle and about 20 black and white interior illustrations by Tomislav Tomic. Johnny also designed the fantastical Harry Potter dust jackets released in 2014, while Thomas Slav also designed the Hogwarts map for the children's editions. I'd love to know which is your favourite edition, and I welcome you to comment your thoughts below. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to sharing my next set of beautiful books with you next time. Bye!